Hey guys, what's up? Lightboltjoe here. Today we're going to discuss the 2012 horror film Cabin in the Woods, directed by Drew Goddard, written by Drew Goddard and Joss Whedon. Now, Drew and Joss had worked together on both Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel, both writers from those shows, and so they actually made the screenplay for this film in 3 days. It shot between March 2009 to May 2009 in British Columbia, and it was supposed to come out February of 2010, but MGM went bankrupt, and it was shelved indefinitely, right? The only two actors I actually know from this film is Chris Hemsworth, who is Chris Hemsworth, everyone knows who he is, and Fran Kranz. Now, I only know him from the second Diary of a Wimpy Kid film, because he plays Bill, the, drummer in Loaded Diaper, who kicks Roderick out, which is hysterical in many forms. But, yeah, so this film was shelved, and then Lionsgate finally picked it up and bought the rights for it, and it was released in 2012, technically. So it was a very long time to actually get this film out. I remember seeing the trailer for it, back when it was supposed to come out, and then, it just disappeared. And then it just magically reappeared. And everyone was like, oh, interesting. And I remember watching it and absolutely hating it when I was in the theaters. I hated it. Absolutely hated it. I was like, what the hell is this nonsense? This is a horrible horror film. Where's the plot? The plot is that there has to be a sacrifice to appease the gods, or the world dies. Stupid. And then the world dies. Stupid. And I refused to watch it ever since 2012, right? So here I am 7 years later, and I watched it. We're in the spooky season. I was like, you know what? I love Chris Hemsworth. I love Fran. I love Joss Whedon. I love Drew Goddard. Let me try it. I've been talking about all these films. I've done over 300 some odd reviews, right? Let me revisit this horror film, because it's a horror film, right? Everyone knows the scene of the monsters leaving the elevator and attacking all of the military guys, right? It's been memed galore. There's been so many meme references to that particular gift set, and it's perfect. So, watching it again, it's a really good film. It is pure satire in the horror genre, right? You don't need torture porn in order to have a good horror film, right? And it's more of a, oh hey, these are the pieces, but we're going to let free will and fate come into effect, but the whore still has to die first, and the virgin might not have to die. I'm still a little iffy, but it's satire. And once you get in that mindset of satire, that it's supposed to be making fun of the horror genre, then I'm okay with it, because it's satire. But when I'm taking it seriously as a horror film, it's not a serious horror film, because it's making fun of horror films. But it's really neat, the intricacy of the makeups, the animatronics, the costuming, the cinematography. There's a lot of scenes where I actually love when it goes from in this control room through the screen to what the characters are actually doing. I really like that in-depth kind of thing. Yeah, so it's a really good movie when you're in that mindset of satire. And I've said that a bunch of times. You got to be in a certain mindset to watch certain movies. So I was not in that satire mindset when I was first watching this film. I was in a, all right, let me see this really intricate, cool plot point, for a horror film. Back in 2012, and I didn't see it. So, I like the film. I think the robot with the saw for the head, that just goes around, the yellow robot with the crane saw that just, kills people, I think he's pretty neat. The Pinhead Hellraiser kind of guy with the, the saws, the jigsaws through his face with the puzzle orb instead of the puzzle box, I thought he was pretty neat. And again, that's clearly riffing off Hellraiser, so, things, Cha feel? That's it. That's all I got. Mucho mahalo, guys.